Sarah vanished into the mist, her footsteps swallowed by the dark woods. Behind her, Salem was left in chaos. Villagers divided, some gripped by fear, others by regret. The dawn brought no comfort, only questions and the echo of what had been lost.
I have seen justice twisted by fear and faith turned to madness. Was it truly evil we hunted, or our own shadows? I pray for forgiveness for them and for myself.
In the days that followed, Salem was never the same. Some left, unable to bear the weight of guilt. Others clung to old fears, whispering that the witch would return. But for many, the true curse was the memory of what they had done.
I am not a witch. I am not a monster. I am only a woman who survived. Out here I will find my own path, far from Salem's shadows.
The story of Salem did not end with the trials, nor with Sarah's escape. It lingers in every place where fear is allowed to rule over reason. Remember, the real danger is not in witches, but in ourselves. Salem, 1692. A town choking on fear, where neighbor turns on neighbor, and whispers are as deadly as the gallows rope. But some whispers are true.
We have gathered today under the gravest of circumstances, not as neighbors, but as soldiers in a war, for the very soul of this community. A shadow has fallen upon our town, a creeping pestilence that sours the milk in our pails, withers the corn in our fields, and steals the breath from our children in the dead of night. These are not acts of nature or misfortune. They are the deliberate and grievous acts of witchcraft, a covenant with the devil that has taken root here among us. We are here to seek out that root, to expose it to the light of God's justice, and to tear it out, lest we all perish in the darkness it spreads. Let no one doubt the solemnity of this task. The evidence will be heard and judgment will be rendered.
It's the devil's work, Magistrate. I am a God-fearing woman. I keep to my chores and my prayers. But what I saw, it chilled me to the bone. Just last Tuesday, as dusk was settling, I passed by Sarah Bishop's cottage, and there she was with that creature of hers, that black cat. It sat upon the fence post, still as a gargoyle, and she was speaking to it, not as one speaks to a dumb animal, but whispering secrets, her head cocked as though it answered her in a language only they could understand. I felt a coldness pass through me, a profane presence. That very night, the milk from my best cow, Daisy, turned sour in the churn. It is a sign, Magistrate, a clear and terrible sign.
A cat, I. His name is Soot, and he is mine for chasing mice from my grain, a service many of you have thanked me for in the past. Is that now a crime in this town? I speak to him because he is my only company most days. Is loneliness also a sin? Martha, your cow's milk soured. Last winter, when your family was racked with fever, I sat by your children's bedsides and brewed them willow bark tea. Did you call that witchcraft then? Or was it neighborly kindness? You look at me now and see a witch, but you know me. You know I am no such thing. This is madness.
Your kindness could be a clever guise, a mask to hide a darker purpose. The devil is known for his subtlety. Answer me this, Sarah Bishop. Do you deny that Satan often grants his followers a familiar, a spirit in the shape of an animal to aid in their dark bidding? Do you deny that a black cat is a common form for such a creature? Your loneliness does not excuse consorting with potential instruments of evil. Your glib tongue will not save you here. We are not speaking of mice and loneliness. We are speaking of eternal damnation.
She's lying. She speaks of being lonely in her cottage, but she finds company in the deep woods. I saw her. I was searching for a lost lamb near the old stones 2 nights past, when I saw a light. It was not the warm light of a lantern, but a sickly green fire that danced without consuming the wood, and she was there, whispering to the flames. The words, they were not of any human tongue. They were guttural, ancient, and as the fire leaped higher, I heard a laugh. It was not her laugh. It came from the shadows around her, a sound so full of malice it curdled the very air. I ran and did not look back, for I knew I had stumbled upon a devil's Sabbath.
Magistrate, if I may, I have known Sarah Bishop since she was a child. She is a good soul. Shouting over him, "Sit down, old man, she has bewitched you too."
That is enough, Thomas. Be careful whose side you take, lest you find yourself sharing their fate. The testimony is damning.
We found this buried beneath her doorstep this morning. My son John has been suffering a piercing pain in his chest for a week. It is her work. The object was a crude effigy, fashioned from straw and cloth, with pins stuck through its chest, a doll meant to bring harm by witchcraft.
No, I have never seen that thing before in my life. It is a lie. Someone has planted it there.
The evidence of your compact with the forces of darkness is now undeniable. The testimony of your neighbors, the profane rituals in the woods, and now this effigy of malice. There can be no other explanation. The court has heard enough. Guards, seize Sarah Bishop. She will stand trial for witchcraft.
No, please, you must believe me. I am innocent. Someone has planted that doll to frame me. I beg you, do not let fear blind you to the truth.
She lies. The devil's servants always protest their innocence. Take her away before she curses us all.
Let her be taken to the jail. The court will convene at dawn. May God have mercy on her soul.
Fear is a spark. And in Salem, sparks set the whole town ablaze. In this small, isolated settlement, pressed between the dark, unknown wilderness and the unforgiving sea, fear is a constant companion. It's in the biting winter wind that rattles the window panes and the shadows that dance just beyond the firelight. For these Puritan settlers, the devil is not a distant concept or a metaphor for sin. He is a real, tangible adversary walking among them, seeking any crack in their faith to exploit. Every misfortune, a failed crop, a sick child, a stillborn calf, is not merely bad luck. It is a potential sign of God's displeasure, or worse, the devil's active malice. This constant grinding anxiety creates a tinderbox of suspicion, where the line between piety and paranoia is dangerously thin. All it needs is a single, well-placed spark to ignite night.
Help me, please, someone help me. Magistrate Hathorn, open the door, I beg you. It's Goody Pratt, sir, the old widow from the edge of the woods. She came to my window in the night, a shadow with glowing eyes. She prayed for my family's crops to rot in the ground. She cursed them.
Calm yourself, child. Goody Pratt was at your window in person.
Her shape was there, her spectre. I saw her as plain as I see you now. And this morning, I went to the fields and the cornstalks. They were black as soot, every last one.
This is a grave accusation, Mary. Did you see her with your own eyes, her physical body, do this thing?
No, but I know it was her. The crows, sir. A whole flock of them sat on the fence watching her spectre. They did not leave until she was gone. Their calls, they sounded like a judgment.
Thank you, Mary. That will be all. You may return to your seat now.
Here, the impossible becomes evidence. The law begins to bend to fear. This is the doctrine of spectral evidence, the testimony of a victim that a witch's spirit or spectre appeared to them and caused them harm. In the eyes of the court, the spectre is the devil's instrument, and the accuser's word is all the proof required. The accused has no defense against what they are said to have done in spirit form miles away, perhaps while they slept soundly in their own bed. The story escapes the magistrate's house like a contagion. It travels on whispers, from farm to farm, from the tavern to the church steps. Goody Pratt, the quiet widow. Cursed crops. Blackened corn. Spectral forms. The devil in Salem. The fear is no longer a vague anxiety. It now has a name and a face. Soon, the entire village is buzzing, not with prayer, but with suspicion. Old grudges and petty jealousies resurface, cloaked in the righteous language of piety. Who else is in league with the devil? An emergency meeting is called. The entire village gathers, seeking answers, but finding only more questions and more fear. Inside the meeting house, order dissolves into chaos. The accusations multiply. Everyone interrupts everyone, eager to cast the first stone, perhaps to avoid having one cast at them.
It's John Proctor. I saw it myself. His oxen pulled twice the load they should from the forest yesterday. No natural beast has such power. That's the devil's strength, I say. He's made a pact for prosperity.
Or a strong back, woman, and 2 strong beasts well fed. You see the devil in hard work because you are idle and envious. Mind your tongue before it speaks more poison than you can stomach.
But Proctor's rational anger is gasoline on the fire. His defiance is seen not as sense, but as the arrogance of the guilty. Another voice, shrill and certain, rises from the crowd.
And I saw Proctor's wife, Elizabeth, burying strange bundles behind her house. She said they were herbs, but I saw bones among them.
You twist every kindness into evil. My wife tends the sick with her herbs. You'd have us all hanged for charity.
My baby fell ill after Goody Pratt visited. She left a charm at my door, twisted straw and a feather. That's witchcraft.
He speaks of poison, but what of his wife, Elizabeth? Her bread never molds. While ours turns green in 2 days, hers stays fresh for a week. You tell me that's not witchery to preserve it so.
Aye, and my cow's milk went sour the moment she walked past my field.
You're all wrong. Elizabeth is kind. She helped my family when we were sick, and she's never harmed anyone. You blame her because you're scared, but she's innocent. Leave her alone.
The accusations become a torrent, a flood of fear and resentment washing away all reason. The afflicted girls, now a unified chorus, begin to twitch and cry out, claiming to see specters and feel the torment of unseen hands. They hold the room captive.
The girls begin to shout over each other, pointing at random villagers. It was her! She cursed my brother! No, it was Goody Nurse. I saw her with the devil. And him, he made my milk sour. The meeting house erupts in chaos as accusations fly in every direction.
The accusations spiral out of control, and reason is lost in the storm of fear. In Salem, no one is safe from suspicion now. Fog seeps between houses. A baby's cry echoes, then cuts short. Suddenly, a scream pierces the night. Someone shouts that a child has fallen ill under mysterious circumstances. Villagers rush into the street, panic rising as rumors of witchcraft spread from house to house. Some things could be explained, others could not.
She woke like this, her skin's cold as ice.
A bell rings out across the village. An emergency meeting is called. All villagers are to gather at the meeting house at once. The fate of Salem hangs in the balance.
Please, someone help my child. She burns with fever. Her skin is ice cold. Mother cradles the baby, rocking gently. A villager rushes over with a damp cloth. Villager, here, let me help. Dabs the baby's forehead. She needs prayers and protection from evil.
This is no ordinary illness. Someone here has cursed the child. Crowd murmurs. Don't look at me. I have done nothing but pray for this family. Prayers or curses? You were seen near their door last night. Please, stop. My child needs help, not more suspicion. The crowd erupts in accusations.
Hale's own daughter spoke with the afflicted child. She could be next.
Enough, this must stop. All of you, return to your homes and let these wild accusations end. I will seek the truth, and only the truth, before any judgment is made. Go now and let calm return to Salem.
The air on Gallows Hill was thin and sharp, tasting of frost and foreboding. Dawn broke not with warmth, but with a pale, sickly light that struggled to pierce the clinging mist. Below, the town of Salem slept, but here, on this cursed rise, a grim congregation had gathered. They were a tapestry of hollowed eyes and tightly drawn shawls, their breath pluming in the cold. They had come to witness an ending, to see justice served upon a soul they had condemned.
You have been found guilty by a court of your peers, under the solemn authority of God, of the grievous sin of witchcraft and of consorting with the devil. You have brought a shadow upon this town and afflicted the innocent. For these crimes the sentence is death. May God have mercy on your soul.
John Proctor stood defiant as the guard seized him. He shouted, "This is a farce! You call this justice? You'll answer for this, all of you!" But his words fell on deaf ears as he was dragged away to face his fate.
Elizabeth Proctor, pale and silent, was led away in chains. Abigail cried out, "No, please, she's innocent. She's done nothing wrong." The crowd watched in uneasy silence as Elizabeth disappeared into the mist.
Sarah Bishop did not weep. Her face, framed by tangled hair, was a mask of exhausted defiance. Her eyes scanned the crowd, not with hatred, but with a profound sorrow, searching for a flicker of doubt in the faces of those who had once been her friends. She found only cold certainty.
As Reverend Hale's final words hung in the frigid air, a change occurred. A sudden, unnatural wind swept across the hill, carrying a low, mocking whisper. The crowd stirred, uneasy. And then, a voice cracked and ancient, yet impossibly clear.
"You fools! You blind, terrified little fools!"
All eyes turned. It was Goody Pratt. A woman so old and frail she was thought little more than a village relic. She stood near the back, a faint, knowing smile on her lips.
You searched for the devil in the shadows, in the whispers of young girls. You saw his mark in every strange glance, every soured pail of milk, but you never thought to look right in front of you, at the quiet old woman who listened to all your secrets. Now, as I stand before you, your fear has become my strength. You are powerless to stop what comes next.
As Goody Pratt's eyes turned black, a wave of terror swept through the crowd. Some villagers tried to run, but their legs would not move. Others fell to their knees, weeping or praying. Reverend Hale stumbled back, his Bible slipping from his grasp as the ropes binding Sarah Bishop smoked and unraveled. Goody Pratt's power held the entire village in a grip of dread.
While you pointed fingers at each other, I feasted. Every accusation was a prayer to me. Every tear of a frightened child, a sacrament. Your pious, self-righteous fear, it made me stronger. Now I curse this village. Your crops will wither, your nights will be haunted by shadows, and your children will remember this terror. You didn't hunt a witch, you created one.
Goody Pratt's shadow detached from her body, swelling into a monstrous shape that blotted out the dawn. The villagers, paralyzed by fear, could only watch as she unleashed her curse. Some fainted, others screamed, and a few fled into the mist, never to return. When the sun finally rose, Goody Pratt and her shadow were gone, but the village would never be the same.
The mist curled around Sarah as she hid among the trees, her breath shallow. Goody Pratt moved through the woods, her eyes glowing with unnatural light. She whispered an incantation, following the faint trail of fear left by Sarah. Suddenly she stopped, turning directly toward Sarah's hiding place. You cannot hide from me, child. The woods speak your name. Whispering to Sarah, they don't deserve the satisfaction. Go, run, disappear into the world they fear.
For a heartbeat, Sarah remained frozen. Then instinct took over. She turned and fled, a ghost disappearing back into the mists. Goody Pratt watched her go, that faint smile returning, before she and her shadow dissolved into the wind.
As the first rays of sunlight finally broke through the mist, Gallows Hill was left deserted, save for the trampled grass and the lingering echo of Goody Pratt's final words. In the chaos, Sarah Bishop vanished into the tangled woods, her figure swallowed by the fog and the dense, ancient trees. Behind her, the village of Salem was forever changed. Word of the morning's horror spread like wildfire. Doors were bolted. Windows shuttered. The townsfolk whispered of curses and omens, their fear now a living thing that crept along every street. Some swore they saw shadows move where no one stood, or heard laughter in the wind that sounded nothing like a child's. The church bells tolled, not for justice, but for something lost. Innocence, perhaps? Or the fragile trust that once bound neighbor to neighbor. Reverend Hale, shaken and hollow-eyed, left Salem soon after, his faith broken and his sermons silenced. As for Sarah, the legend grew. Some said she became a spirit of the woods, a protector of the wronged. Others insisted she was cursed to wander, never finding peace. But none dared return to Gallows Hill, where the grass grew black and the air was always colder than it should be. Salem learned to fear its own shadows, and the memory of that morning lingered. A warning whispered from mother to child, beware the evil you invite in. Sometimes, it's the evil you create. The mist never truly left Gallows Hill,